about the rule of thumb. The percentage that you may need or require for a home loan, so to say. Because getting a home loan can be your leverage. It means you are getting an asset that may cost you $1 million, but you are getting it what? At 10% value or at zero deposit. That is a leverage that you must use and take advantage of. Normally when we start our session, we start with shares and so forth, but today I'm starting with property. Will that be fine? Yes. So you take notes, you write some notes, you write down questions. Towards the end, I will allow you to ask those questions. Are we together on that one? So the first thing that will allow you to freely and breathe easily when it comes to bond repayment is that you set up at least 30% from your income. That can be freely available. So this is a rule of thumb for a home loan. Meaning that if you are earning 30,000, it means after all expenses and everything, you at least must have a 30% exposure that will go towards bond repayments. Okay? If it takes more than 50% of your gross income, it means you may not be affording that property well. You still need to buy a car, eh? So if 50% of your money goes towards the bond, it means you will soon be squeezed financially if interest rate can continue to go up. You know the problem we may face. So 30% of your income must be set aside for your bond repayments. So 30% is a safe number. That's what I can also encourage that you check out so that as time goes on, you are able to benefit from. So what does that mean? It means if you are looking for a property above R1 million, at least you must be earning at the range of like 32,000 to afford that home. All right? And the way you are so quiet, it's fine. So 1.5 million. For a property of 1.5 million, at least you must be earning above 45,000 per month. What are you saying, yo? Yes, cross. Okay? So now, this side, okay, I will take you as a poor side. The way you are saying, yo. Okay. So, but things may change towards the end. Okay? So for this session, I'll come back. All right. I'm still going to listen to the feedback from this side. Okay. So, yeah, you must be earning 45,000. Okay, the way you are so touching your chin on the 45,000, I'll take you as a mealy ones. Okay. for this rule. And then for 1.8, it means you must be earning above 55,000. You see, this side is more the same as this one. Wow. Guys, are you not earning anywhere around 50,000 per month? Yo? All right, let's come back. We started on a higher rate. Let's come back to the normal rate. But now we are talking. All right. So for a 400,000 property, it means we must be earning at least above 12,000. Yeah, the way they are saying, yeah. All right. For a property of more than 650,000, at least we must be earning 20,000 or more. All right. That is a affordability. For a property of more than 600,000 to 700,000, we must be earning 22,000 to 24,000 and above. Okay? Yes. But you can still be in a position to buy maybe vacant land for 200,000 from township, any township spot for 200,000. Okay? It means for that, we will also go through some affordability calculations with you guys so that everything must be clearly stated. But I still emphasize that having an access to owning a bond is a leverage. Now I always meet people who say, you know what? Even the name bond means I'm bonded. It's bondage. No, 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 no. You can actually use that leverage to your advantage. More especially if you have what we called an excess bond. Are we cool on that one? All right. So, let me just go through to property 24. Ne? And then on property 24, I will go to calculators. It's something that you can do it yourself at any given moment. So let's start with affordability. We're starting with what? Affordability. All right. So for someone who is earning, let's say, 22,000, and then we'll say net is 18, even though we are not necessarily specific. Ne? So it means you will qualify for 600,000 for a gross income of 22,000. Obviously, there are all these other expenses, you traveling, all those sort of things. As an estate agent myself, I'm a principal estate agent for Black Prop. So sometimes when you mention things like expenses, a lot of expenses, to qualify for the property, we advise you financially, but to help you, we also help you with maybe let's adjust your finances. All right? So we create a program for you so that after purchasing a house, you don't find yourself with the same expenses that will squeeze you. So we give you like professional financial advice there and there, because under Impirend, we also have authorized FSP to do that. So that's what we do, so that at least you know that after owning this property, you will manage your finances well. So we cook your expenses with you so that you will be able to proceed. I'm using the word cook so that you quickly understand what we mean. How? Now, financially, how? Okay, so that's what we are talking about. Ne? So that's another thing that you need to understand. But if even township properties now are actually moving up in terms of price to $1 million and above, so it's no longer like cheap. But if you get maybe a vandalized township property that needs renovations, you still can get around 300 or so. But if you are earning, let's say you are earning 12,000, that means, let's say here you will qualify for a bond of like 332,000, around that range. Okay, so that can be the land, that can be an apartment in downtown, so forth. But still, it's if you are doing it, even it for rentals, that's still fine and good. So you will work around that and see how far you can go. All right. Now that you have a bond, let's talk about how do you go about managing your bond. Okay. So let's make an example like a property of 800,000. A property of how much? 800,000. With no deposit. Remember, there's one thing that always becomes a problem when you are purchasing a property. Most people don't know a lot about what we call hidden cost. You find that you've qualified, you've been pre-approved, but you were not prepared for what? Once-off cost, like bond registrations and property transfers. For an 800,000 property, you need like 28,000 for bond registrations. That include the deeds office. You also need property transfers. That is more like 23,000. So that's a 52,000 that you need to have aside. We are not including a deposit here. So if you are to include a 10% deposit for an 800,000 property, how much is the 10% deposit for this one? 80,000. So now, as much as a deposit may depend on your credit score, now it means hidden costs are around 140. I'm saying 140 because you are still going to open an account for municipality rates, ranging around 5,000, 6,000. So that is 140 you must have on the side. That must come from your pocket. But for people who are earning between 3,500 to 22,000, all these fines can be paid by the First Home Finance Grant. For those that are earning up to 22,000, I will go with you through the First Home Finance Grant for those people who are within that range. Do we have people who earn up to 22,000, or we are all above? Okay, or and less. Oh, all right. So I wanted to find this middle row in terms of where do we belong. Now I know. Okay.